I have with my son and my family. I feel like my dad was a really hard worker, and I feel like one of the most important things that I learned on from him is if you want to get something, you have to work very hard for it. And obviously my son's going to grow up in an extremely privileged position, and I think it's really important for me right now. I could be at home with him every waking moment. It's lovely, and I love spending time with Bear. It's fantastic. But then what am I really teaching him? You know, and if I can start off early by teaching him, you have to work very hard for the things that you want to get in life. And, you know, I'm also out here trying to secure his future and different things. That's how I feel about it. I was very hassled by, like, UK press and people, you know, saying things about me for going away. But, you know, I have a job to do. I have an opportunity. I'd be very silly not to take it. And, you know, I think it's worth it for me and my family. So, you know, I just want to show him. It's the funny thing about success changes after you have a child. I was just speaking to somebody and saying, you know, I started making music and trying to do this when I was 14 years old, which is extremely young. It was the first time I was on TV, the first time I met Simon and Cheryl, funny enough. And yeah, it's been 10 years in the making to get to this point, so I'm extremely proud of the fact that I'm getting to finally, you know, release an album after a bit, what has been a dream for 10 years. So yes, September time. I think my sound, I'm still in the middle of discovering it because it's been a really wild ride. You know, obviously every song I've released so far has been quite a different thing, even now stepping into Latin, which is completely different for me. And that's been quite fun. I've enjoyed that, and I enjoy the fact that I get the chance to do so. So my album's very much a mixed bag, but I kind of tried to make it so it was a playlist. I feel like the album, you know, the world is what is listening to playlists right now. They want different voices. You know, they want to hear different things, and people are used to that right now. So it's not something you should be afraid of. It's something I feel like I wanted to welcome more so, and it's worked out really well. I've got to meet some great people and make some fantastic songs. So yeah, that's kind of been the way it's been rolling so far. I'm in Mexico. I feel like I didn't expect the reaction I got when I landed here just now, and it's been incredible. It's something I've not experienced for a while. I play a lot of shows, but it's different when people just turn up for no reason outside your hotel, and the army were there yesterday. I don't know what the army were there for, but they were there. And a mariachi band as well, which was quite fun. And then we all sang a song together. And like I say, I haven't done that for a while. And yeah, it was pretty daunting starting off becoming a solo artist. I wasn't really sure. I had a different idea of what fame was when I was younger. I feel like it took me a while to grow into the idea of what it actually is, and not letting, you know, different things, you know, bother you within the day of what becomes the job. And yeah, I think that was what was quite daunting. I was like, do I really want to go into this all again? Do I want to start this off again? There's a lot of pressure, you know. But I just thought about it differently, and now I love it. You know, I spend a lot more time around my fans, and I spend a lot more time. And I think it's important the people that you have around you at the time as well, managers and people that look after you. And I feel like I have a really good set of people, and like a little road family right now, which is a funny time before writing this album. So there's little stories and things that I haven't really told, and I'm usually extremely open with a lot of things, but this is something I kind of kept to myself, except for inside the music. So you can kind of make what you want of it, but you see if you can see the little things.
Dice que va a tener, el álbum se divide en dos partes básicamente. Tiene, la mitad son canciones que tiene con otras personas, la mitad son canciones que él escribió junto con otras personas, y que son historias que pues nunca le ha contado a nadie y que son pues de él nada más.
To look at Jay for this more than anybody, Jose, because when I sat with him in an interview recently, I love the passion that he has for, you know, Latin reggaeton music. It's incredible, and I also think he's, you know, he's something that you guys must be very proud of. I mean, he was #2 on Spotify. He got Time Best Album of the Year so far. I mean, what an achievement! I've never seen anything like it, and you know, all respect to him. But in respect to the music, it's just how proud he is, and you know, how what's the word I'm looking for? Well, of your country, your music, and the language and everything, and he really wants to push for it to be great. So I was thinking, damn, like, I need something like that. I want to, you know, obviously I don't speak Spanish, so my thing that I've kind of dotted around a lot this time. I feel like I might focus something more in on a sound maybe for the next album. For this album, it's been kind of difficult though, and I think for everybody kind of goes through this as they make a solo album. Because I didn't know what to do when I left the band. I was writing like pop rock music when I was in the band, and then I left, and I know that I like hip hop, but I also know that I'm not Eminem, and I should stick to what I know and different things. So a lot of things kind of go through your mind. So my vision of music's kind of changed as the time's gone by. But you know, I have great people around me, great ears. I have great people that send me songs, and I've gotten to write with some amazing musicians. So I've just enjoyed like the creation of this album more than anything, and I've learned a lot. Honestly, I've got to listen to a lot. Obviously, I went to the Meows the other night, and when they play the Who's Up for the Awards, you get to listen to lots of different music and seeing the rehearsals as well. I thought Sebastian Yatra, that's the one I'm looking for. Sexy guy. Yeah, I thought he was really great. I love what he did, actually, and he was he came and said hello to me after he won his award, and he was a really, really nice boy. It's lovely when you meet nice people. In terms of like my favourite Latin song at the moment, I love Ahora, which is obviously by this guy. Tantas son las horas. I'm trying to learn it, but it's so hard. There's one word that's just bothering me in the middle that I can't do yet, so I'm not going to sing the whole chorus. I'll leave it there. But yeah, someone actually said to me a few weeks ago, they kind of said, you know, there's been a lot of different languages that have come in and out of music. You know, we had this in the UK with a totally different thing, but is Latin music going to stick around? Is it going to stay? And for me, it's like, it's really cemented itself within the industry. Starting off with Despacito, obviously, which just went crazy. So I think it definitely is. You can't not listen to these songs and think, wow, this is beautiful. Even if you don't understand what's going on, it makes you think summer, it makes you think happy. And I love that, and so many people are getting involved with Latin music now that it's going to stick around. With things like Spotify and the playlisting and the way things work. I definitely think it's here to stay, which is fantastic. I love it, and your boy is doing wonders for it. So fantastic. Horses, and then vote for who you want to vote for, and happy voting.
Le preguntan
and vote for me as well. I might say I can do a job on something.
Que tiene muchos followers que por primera vez van a poder votar, y como muchos de ustedes saben, pues ya se acercan las elecciones y le preguntan que qué consejo le puede dar a todos estos chavos.
To vote for me for? What's the election
president?
For? Oh right, okay, no, don't vote for me for that. No.
Y pues que cada quien tiene que hacer su propio, tiene que buscar su información, ¿no? Que allá en el internet tiene que votar por quien sea, pero pues que salgan a votar y que voten por él.
I hope it goes well. Who are you voting for? You're not supposed to ask that, actually.
No,
don't tell me. It's like well, I don't think anyone's ever given like a, safe or respect in the Royal Abbey before. So I think that kind of surprised them. But I like my band and I wanted to say well done. That's the thing for me. So I was just saying well done. But I think they thought that was quite weird or funny because I was like, so in the Royal Abbey, it's not the place to do that at all. It's like the place to do this and bow, and there's all sorts of rules about what you call the Queen and stuff. I've met the royal family a number of times. I've been really lucky to do so. I thought it was never something I would ever do, and I really like them. I think people forget that they have quite a tough job on because everyone's watching. And I know what that feels like a little bit, not to their extent now, because I think that the stuff that they do is very, very serious work with different charities. For example, the Queen would be, running the Commonwealth. They're going after a thing where they're trying to, cure 5 curable types of blindness, which is an amazing thing to do. So I have massive respect for the royal family. I think they get a bit of a hard time of it sometimes in the UK, and I don't think it's really fair. I think they're just trying to be good people and. It's fair. Dun dun dun. In case we don't do them together, don't say that. We'll be after you and stuff, man. I definitely think we will come back together. But for the sake of the question, I would love to do a duet with one of the boys if the right song came along. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. I know our voices work quite well together, and I know what they're like on stage. I mean, like I say, it's been amazing to watch their difference. Like, I mean, if I was going to pick a song, I would sing. I would probably pick Slow Hands. I like Slow Hands, it's a good song. It's fantastic. I mean, just to see all these different styles of music coming out. And I've heard all of Louis' album, by the way, which is really, really, really good. I'm not going to tell you too much because it's not my business. But yeah, I think we will come back together. In my head, I have a dream, and it's nice to still dream at this point, even though everything's so fantastic, of like the 5 of us coming back together, putting on a concert all together where we can play like a little mini One Direction festival. I mean, this thing can go on for days. But I think it's really important if we get this bit right now, because the more songs that we have, the longer the concert is. So I mean, it's like a long wait for a big concert, and then that would be amazing to do, like, have something that featured so many different styles of music, all of us back together doing our thing. But right now, everyone's kind of giving each other space. We spend a lot of time together, and I think it's important that we don't tread on each other's toes. It's nice to have something that's yours. If you're, I mean, you must know what it feels like sometimes if you have a sibling and they're doing the same thing as you, and you're like, well, I was doing that, why are you doing that? I mean, everybody wants their own space, I feel, and they deserve respect in their own right for what they do, because they're very good at it, So I think that's mainly the reason. It's not because we're not friends or anything. stuff like that. It's just, you know, 5 years together is a long, long time, especially when we didn't know each other. So, I mean, we'll see what the future holds. I'm not going to say any dates because I'm already in trouble once. I will be in trouble again. And yes, that's great. Good questions. Thank you, sir. Yeah, can I just say a massive thank you to all of my Mexican fans and people who showed up for me for the last few days. It's been a real lot of fun for me, something I'll definitely never forget. And I've been sending a lot of great videos home as well for my friends and family to see, because it's such a beautiful thing when you show up. So thank you very much, and I'll be back soon. Mexico te amo, I think is what you say. Thank you.